Welcome back. This lesson is going to be focusing on how we divide mixed numbers by fractions. So here I have a mixed number and I'm going to divide it just by a fraction. Remember, a mixed number is any number that has a whole number and a fraction. That is how we get the term mix. Think of a cake. When you are mixing something for a cake, you're mixing two things together, like eggs and your flour. When we have a mixed number, we're mixing two things together, a whole number and a fraction. So if you don't have a whole number and fraction, it's not a mixed number. What we're going to do is we're going to do the same steps that we had before when we were dividing fractions by fractions, that keep, change, flip. However, what we need to do different this time is this mixed number is going to be a problem for us. We have to convert it into an improper fraction. So how do I do that? Well, here I'm going to take my whole number and I multiply it by my denominator. So I have 3 times 2, that equals 6, and then I add it to my numerator. So that product added to the numerator equals 7. And my denominator stays the same. So I'm just going to put that 7 over 2. So I have 7 halves. And just for clarification, I'm going to rewrite the problem. So that 3 halves I know is 7 halves divided by 7 eighths. And now I'm ready to start. So that K stands for keep. So I'm going to keep my first part the same, that's 7 halves. My next part, that divide, that is my change, is part 2. So that's number 2 with that C. And that's going to be change, meaning I change my division sign into multiplication. So I copy everything above, and then I change. My last step, that flip, I'm going to copy everything above, just so I don't forget. And now I'm going to that flip, that reciprocal. So I take my numerator, and that becomes my denominator, being that flip, and I take that denominator, and that becomes my numerator. And now I'm ready to start. So remember, when I'm multiplying fractions, I just multiply straight across. So I have 7 times 8, that's 56, over 2 times 7 is 14. My answer is not done though. I see 2 problems. It is an improper fraction, and I can still reduce it. So just to make room, I'm going to delete my work, because I already remember how to do that. That improper, so I'm going to delete it. I'm just going to rewrite my problem over on that side. That 56 divided by 14. And what can I divide 14 by and 56? Well, right away I see they're both even, because it ends in a 6 and a 4. So I know I can divide by 2. Instead of finding all their factors, I'll just start with the easy one first. 56 divided by 2, well, I'm unsure, so I'm just going to draw my example down here and solve it that old-fashioned way. 2 goes in 5 2 times, multiply, subtract, bring down. 2 goes into 16 8 times. I'm just going to repeat that process, multiply, subtract, 0. And there's nothing to bring down, so my answer is just 28. And then I'm going to divide it by 14, or 14 divided by 2. That one I know is just 7. And now I'm going to notice, hey, I can still simplify. What can I simplify by? Well, I know 7 goes into 28, and 7 goes into 7. So I'm going to divide by 7. I know 28 divided by 7, that is 4. 7 divided by 7, that is 1. And this can then simplify to 4. So 3.5 divided by 7/8, my final answer is 4. If I was really smart and I really know my facts, or I see patterns quickly, I could notice that I could have started out the very beginning right here, just dividing by 14, and that just would have saved me one extra step of division. I still have that same answer. So that's just an easy way I can check to make sure 4 is that correct answer.